Have you ever had chicken velvet soup? If you haven't, you must. Let me show you how to make it. Hey friends, we're gonna go way back. We're gonna make chicken velvet soup. Have you had that? There was an LS Ayres in Indianapolis, Indiana in the 1960s. They had a lovely little restaurant called the Tea Room, and this was their signature soup, chicken velvet soup. Super simple, delicious. I have a Dutch oven. Use whatever soup pot you want. And to this, we're gonna add 1½ sticks, so 3/4 of a cup of butter. I use unsalted. We're gonna let this melt. And then we're gonna whisk in flour. We're gonna make a roux. Let's let this melt. All right, our butter is almost melted. We're gonna put equal parts flour that we put in butter. We did 1.5 sticks, which is 3/4 of a cup of butter. You hear it cooking along. We're gonna grab a whisk and we're gonna whisk in 3/4 of a cup of flour. 1/2 and 1/4 is 3/4, kid. You know, always teaching in the kitchen. And we're gonna let this cook for about a minute. You wanna cook out that raw flour taste. That's really important in this soup. Really in anything you're making a roux. You wanna just cook it down for a minute and kind of stir it so it doesn't scorch. What I have to add to this is I have 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of cream. I put them together in a 2-cup measuring cup. And then I have 6 cups of water, but it needs to be chicken stock. Or, you know, just regular chicken broth isn't enough. You need some stock with some base. So I'm using this Norris chicken bouillon. Guys, Mama's talking. Mama's talking. Thank you. They're watching a little bit of a Bluey, and you know, even though we're doing this, I'm still parenting while I cook dinner. I don't usually let them have a screen time before dinner, but it's cold outside and we've got a lot of snow. All right, this is looking really good. Cooking out the flour taste. It's starting to turn color, really a nice golden color. To this, I'm gonna go ahead and add the bouillon to my water. I'm going to use 2 pretty good hefty tablespoons. I like the flavor of this. I hadn't used it until recently, and I've not been disappointed each time I've used it. There we go. Now give that a stir, and voila, we have chicken stock. Gonna stir this in, whisk it in. Get that goodness out of there. And I'm just gonna give it a stir. So far we've got 6 cups of soup, don't we? We're gonna add 2 more. I'm gonna let this come up to a slight boil, and then I'm going to add my 2 cups of my cream and milk mixed together. You could use just 2 cups of half and half if you'd like. Some people, I think, use just heavy cream. I like to mix the milk and the cream. So it's whatever your preference is. And as it begins to thicken over a medium-high heat, just keep giving it a little stir with your whisk. And then we're gonna add this in, and we're gonna bring it up to a bit of a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to a simmer. Let me get that going for you. It'll take a minute or 2. It's just coming up to a slight boil, so what I want to do is add about 2 cups of rotisserie chicken. You can use any kind of chicken you want. You can chop it, cube it, shred it, dice it, however you choose. It doesn't take a lot. And I've had others say, well, you should put carrots and celery and onion in that. Then it's no longer chicken vegetable soup. I mean, chicken velvet soup. It becomes a creamy vegetable soup with chicken. That's not what I'm after. I'm after chicken velvet. So here we go. And now, the only seasoning you really need to this is pepper. The chicken bouillon or the chicken base or the chicken stock that you use should have enough other flavor if you don't use just plain chicken broth. If you do that, you could add some thyme, a bay leaf, you could add some sage. I'm just gonna add some white pepper because I don't want black pepper flakes in this, but it would be fine if you did. I'm just adding a little white pepper. Gonna give it a stir. and just let it simmer. I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes, and it'll be good to go. This is a delicious, delicious soup. If you've never made this, and maybe if you're not from this area, you might have not heard of chicken velvet soup. It was made popular, like I said, from the tea room in LS Ayres in Indianapolis, Indiana back in the 60s. And some of us have been fortunate enough to be able to try it along the way. And actually, do you know Cake Bake? Do you have a Cake Bake? We have 2 of them in Indianapolis. They actually have this on their menu, and I had some. It was so good. It was served with a baguette, and I was like, it's the old recipe. It's perfect. So let me show you. It's just a beautiful, beautiful soup with a little chicken in it. Here and there, you get a little bite of chicken. It's just what you want. Turn the heat down. Bon appetit. That's it. I saw somebody said, I think it was Rissy Roo said, if your food doesn't make you dance, you're not doing it right. This made me dance. Let's recap. You want 3/4 a cup of butter, 3/4 a cup of flour. Make a roux, let it cook for about a minute to kick out the raw flour taste. Add 6 cups of a good chicken stock. After that, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of cream. My children are fighting, you can probably hear that. Or 2 cups of half and half. Bring that up to a boil. When it starts getting thick, add about 2 cups of chopped diced cube chicken and then some pepper. Let it simmer for about 10 minutes and you're good to go. Enjoy.